That last customer sure was a mess. He was a drowned victim. That coupled with all the trauma he sustained really required a lot of exploration to get what I needed to get. Nothing that my scalpel and other tools couldn't handle, and as a matter of fact, every body is certainly different, and it's always enjoyable to have to go to certain lengths to get things done at a certain level of satisfaction when presented a problem and is overcome. Unfortunately, I have been having reception problems, so I have not been able to bring in any hosted shows in some time. The trend and the way things are going in general, maybe they're not on anymore. I really don't know. I don't get too much communications from them. Bodies just tend to show up. I just hold out hope that I can find something of some value as opposed to just these paid programmings telling me what to purchase. I'm gonna see what I can get in and go back to the cooler end and bring out the next visitor.
Of the world, various diabolical rites and ceremonies have been practiced in homage to various sinister gods who are believed to have many supernatural powers. These rites are generally known as voodoo, which consists mostly of black magic and the cult of death. The practice of voodoo invokes the supreme god, Baron Samedi, who is supposed to be able to revive the dead. This rite is presided over by Damballa, a kind of supreme priest to whom the witches or followers dedicate their diabolical ceremonies, the same as the snake priestess. Unscrupulous adventurers take advantage of these superstitions to put docile native girls under their power, transforming them into zombies so they will submit to their primitive instincts. There are many existing opinions about the living death. The truth is that many strange and horrible stories are told, like the one that happened in Corbeil to Captain Pierre Labiche. Well, here we are.
Splendid. I didn't think it would be such a difficult trip.
Consider yourself fortunate that I was around to accompany you. I am sure people in these parts are unused to see a woman travel alone.
In due time, Captain Labiche, women are no longer bonded to men as they were before. We know how to shift for ourselves.
I don't think that premise will hold true around here.
That remains to be seen.
Well, at any rate, if you need me, you have just but to say the word.
I don't think that will be necessary.
And about that club you belong to?
It's not a club. It's a well-founded organization that will change the world.
And how do you say it's called?
The International Anti-Saloon League.
Oh, quite right. Well, here we are. Oh.
I'll call a lieutenant.
I shall attend to that myself. I'll go along with you to the plantation later.
Thank you. How long will you be staying here?
Long enough to clean up the police department and reestablish law and order. Sergeant! Yes, sir. I am Captain Labiche, your new chief. Where is Lieutenant Wilhelm? Well? Deaf and dumb, huh? Never mind. I shall announce myself. Are these men prisoners?
Oh, yeah. Prisoner, yeah.
My glass is empty. Thank you, Tony.
And the pleasure is mine, Lieutenant.
I'm sorry, sir. I didn't get word of your coming.
That is quite obvious. I am Captain Labiche. And of course you are Wilhelm.
Yes, sir. At your service, sir. Your glass is empty.
That won't be necessary. I never drink alcohol.
Bravo! Captain Labiche, as a citizen of the Republic, I am shocked to find alcoholism rampant in the law enforcement agency itself.
Alcoholism?
Lieutenant Wilhelm, Mademoiselle Vanderberg. Mademoiselle Vanderberg is a temperance worker.
What? Temperance, Lieutenant. The salvation of the world. Modern science has shown that alcohol is responsible for 99.2% of all the will sins.
99.2.
Oh, I see that it's taken care of. I want you to come with me at once to the plantation of Carl van Mulder. I presume you know the man?
Of course. He owns almost half the island.
Mademoiselle Vanderberg is his niece. She intends to stay with him while she's here.
I see. Very good, but it's quite far from here.
In that case, we should leave at once.
Yes, sir.
What's this, Wilhelm?
It's a voodoo funeral, sir.
Voodoo?
I don't understand. What is this voodoo?
Oh, it's a native superstition. They will bury their dead in a special place, which is supposed to be protected by magic. And they'll keep a vigil for 3 days and 3 nights, just to be sure.
To be sure of what?
Oh, to be sure that the bodies cannot be raised and made to walk at night, forced to work in the field.
Which I gather doesn't happen too often.
Not too often.
What's the matter, mademoiselle? Did he frighten you?
Captain, sometimes even I get frightened by these people's eyes.
In those eyes, you can guess all the cruelty of their diabolical ceremonies. Ceremonies produced by sinister witches and under the guidance of the mysterious Damballa. Legends say they even produce human sacrifices. They gladly go to their deaths with the hope that they'll be accepted into the legion of the zombies, winning the favor of Baron Samedi, and this way, enjoy the privilege of the living death.
Hey, luckily I was able to get something on the televisions. This is coming in okay, but I'm having so much trouble. One of these days I may just have to break down and get one of those tape machines that permits me to watch what I want to watch whenever I want to watch and stop it, bring you fellows up to date and things like that. So I may have to explore that, but we're in the here and now and you're getting to see something that's being broadcast over the airwaves. So Native women are apparently acquired through strange voodoo rituals in this movie. Just such a ritual has taken place. A midget voodoo priest and a dead chicken, and we have a young native girl who believes she is some sort of a zombie. A captain shows up at the island with this woman who's a temperance worker, and she seems to have a goal of purging the world of alcohol. I guess if you have that lofty of a goal, maybe it's best to start off on a teeny little island to see how things work out. I don't hold out much hope for her, however. We have another ritual with a dancing girl, a skeleton, and a snake. And it's conducted by the island priest, and here we are, you and I, conducting a ritual of our own. Now, the initial external examination is nearly complete. And while I'll not be using any snakes and most likely will omit the answer, there will be a skeleton involved in this process. You let me know if you notice it. Time to open you up soon, and we will discover what prizes you have in store for me.
It wouldn't be strange if now they'd bury one of their victims.
Welcome, Lieutenant. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Oh, you have guests, I see. How charming. Do come in.
Van Mulder, may I present...
Uncle Carl, don't you remember me? I'm Annabella.
Not little Annabella Vandenberg.
All grown up, as you could see.
Well, now, how many years has it been?
Oh, now, please, don't mention that.
And this is my superior from the mainland. Captain Labiche.
At your service, sir.
Captain, I'm honored. Please sit down, all of you. Kalea, some refreshments for our guests. This is indeed a surprise, my dear. What brings you so far from home?
I've come on behalf of a great cause, to ask for your help.
Well, if I can help you, of course I will. What is the cause?
To make a better world.
Oh. Well, of course, in a cause like that, I'm completely at your service. How will it be accomplished?
By destroying the demon. Drink.
Oh.
This is delicious, Uncle Carl. What is it?
Just a local beverage, made from bananas, I believe.
And sugar.
Captain Labiche, you have a fine young officer here in Lieutenant Wilhelm, and a more peaceful island than close by would be very difficult to find. So what brings you here?
Not peace, Herr van Mulder.
The sword, then?
I'm a man of the sword.
It is said that he who lives by the sword...
Must have a strong arm, Herr van Mulder.
What are you two talking about?
They're having some jokes among themselves, mademoiselle.
The humor seems rather grim.
You see, mademoiselle, your uncle suspects I have come to this island to make trouble. This is not correct. Trouble is already here. And I have come to stamp it out, to bring law.
Whose law, Captain? The people of Kirby have had their own for centuries and...
Pagan superstition, witchcraft, magic, ritual mutilation, human sacrifice, and other practices of a sort, which cannot be discussed in the presence of a young lady. Your pardon, mademoiselle.
What sort of practices?
Well, the young men and the young women get together and...
Wilhelm.
Yes, sir.
You see, Herr van Mulder, to me the law is a simple matter. There is right and there is wrong.
And you are constantly amazed by the number of people who fail to recognize your simple formula.
Herr van Mulder, you have a great influence here. I had hoped that we could be allies, you and I.
Perhaps we can, Captain. Perhaps we can.
Fine.
Come into my laboratory. I'd like to show you something.
Uncle Carl, I had no idea you were a scientist.
Oh, my interests are many and varied, my dear. For years, I've been making a study of the culture of the people of Kirby.
How do you like this little fellow?
Did you know that when the Egyptians were raising the pyramids, the people here on this little island were raising something much more important, or perhaps less tangible?
And what would that be?
A power. A vast, untapped power that has laid dormant for thousands of years, just waiting the key to unlock its secrets.
Oh, I see. And where is this power to be found?
In the human mind.
And the key?
Captain Labiche, you see that tiny mirror and the weight attached?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that by the mere concentration of a human will that can be made to move?
That? Of course not. What nonsense.
Of course, for you, then, it would be impossible. But I believe. Therefore...
And that is your vast untapped power?
One man alone did not build the pyramids. You saw the tiny movement of that mirror caused by the concentration of one human mind. Think what would be done by the concentration of thousands of minds, all stronger than mine, upon one single object. Oh, we would indeed have a new world. No more war, no pestilence. No hunger, famine, disease. Perhaps even no more death.
Ah, bah. Parlor tricks. I am disappointed you think me so gullible, Herr van Mulder.
My life's work, a parlor trick. Calais, this gentleman would like a more impressive demonstration.
Tremiche, tremiche, tremiche. Jimbabo. Benfere. Calendiso, calendo.
Captain Labiche, I must warn you that if you insist on interfering with the customs and traditions of these people, it'll be very dangerous, not only for you, but for others. In the name of humanity, I beg you to go back to the mainland at once and leave this forgotten island in peace.
I am the law, Herr van Mulder. And the law can forget no one.
Good day, Mademoiselle Vandenberg. I hope we meet again under more amusing circumstances.
You know that Dambala does not like this kind of thing.
No. No, don't do it. Please. Please.
Tambala, Tambala. Who is this Tambala? Hogwash.
Oh, the religious symbol, their leader. He's not important.
Witchcraft. Living death. People sacrifice in ceremonial rites. And you say it's not important?
Look, Captain, this is not Paris. You do well to respect these people's customs. That was the first thing I learned when I got here.
What you didn't learn, Lieutenant, is how to cope with these fanatics. Now it's up to me. Tonight we'll find the ceremonial site and surround it.
Interfering with these people's religion is playing with fire.
I'm used to it, monsieur. Make the necessary preparations.
This way, Captain.
I ordered you to disperse at once. Allez, get out! Allez! The only way to handle these people, Wilhelm. Now they know who gives the orders.
I fear so, Capitan Labiche.
You know, sometimes I think you know more than you let on, and I love to cooperate. Are you sure you don't know who Dambala is?
I'm sure. If I knew, I wouldn't tell you.
We'll see about that. Place a guard of 3 men here.
Tony, I think we're going to get very, very drunk tonight.
beaten to death. There were no guards around. They almost devoured her.
Voodoo. Zombies. Cannibal woman. This woman was killed by madmen, and I intend to put a stop to it.
They say they're dead. Left their tombs to join the walking dead. There were still a few cannibal women around when we found her. We saw them running off into the brush. We could even see the blood on their faces.
Cannibal woman. Nothing but superstitious rot.
They ate human flesh because they've been cursed by Damballa.
That's enough. I'll bring these people to their wits, no matter what it takes. I shall order a general curfew in this region until the leaders of this organization can be discovered and punished.
Curfew? Over the entire island? But that's impossible.
I quite agree. I have written the government in protest. But for the present, all I can do is carry out my orders.
Of course. Well, what do you think the people will do?
Well, I don't know. It's not the police they're afraid of. It's the zombies.
Zombies? Oh, here on Kauai, but really?
Well, they're afraid that they'll come down from the mountains.
But what are these zombies?
Ah, it's a voodoo superstition. They're supposed to be the walking dead, raised from their graves by magic and put to work in the cane fields, like slaves.
Against the Daemon, Baron Samdi will be invoked to lead them.
Lead them to what?
Who knows? Baron Samdi is the Messiah of darkness. He will bring a whole new world. At least, that's what the natives say.
Yeah, so they say. Well, this calls for a drink.
Yes, Lieutenant, thank you. I'll join you in that.
Annabella, you don't mind when your uncle drinks. Why this unfair discrimination against me?
Uncle Carl may be forgiven because of his age. In his case, it serves a medicinal purpose.
Mademoiselle, you are a fanatic. I've never seen a zombie, but I'm starting to feel like one. This is pretty good stuff.
Uncle Carl, what would it take to invoke this Baron Samedi? It says here, an ultimate act of horror.
Tradition says that Damballa, who is the servant of Baron Samdi, must produce a human sacrifice. Then Baron Samdi will appear.
Mein Herr, the new
Crenshaw.
Oh,
I have guests.
excuse me. I must speak to you, mein Herr. Most urgent.
I'm sorry, Klingsaw is my overseer. Apparently there's trouble in the cane fields. I'll be back.
This business with the police, the curfew,
I know about that.
it could only lead to one thing. The workers are becoming restless. They can feel the danger in the air.
Then do what you must do, Klingsaw. But don't go too far.
Good evening, Fright fans. I am Joe Nosferatu, homeless vampire, from the movie by the same name. But anyway, you're watching the Mortician and the House of Fear. We hope you like tonight's movie. I'm sure it will kill you.
Seeing as you've not been here meaning the realm of the deceased, you haven't been here very long, so I've certainly been with those in your condition quite some time, so I've come to understand a few things. The main thing I believe you need to keep in mind is that in the world you just passed from, people seem to have little accountability to one another. They act in general in their best interests, and when they wrong or belittle or whatnot, take advantage of whoever they need to get what they want. They have the ability to kind of blend in with the rest of the masses and more or less disappear and not be held accountable for what they've done. When you get where you're going now, there's a couple of limiting factors. One, you really have limited mobility unless you're one of those blessed with reanimation in some manner, radiation, some sort of magic or what have you. And that, let me tell you, happens very infrequently. But I think the main factor is that prohibits you from behaving as irresponsibly as those in the living world is the fact that we share each other's thoughts. We can hear not only what you're saying, and you're not going to be saying a lot anyway, but that's how we communicate on this side. And it's very difficult to hide things from people, and you definitely are held to a higher standard. So just keep that in mind. You certainly can feel any way you want to feel, but be prepared to answer for it. As the show goes on, the team arrives at Uncle Carl's house, and who does he have for a helper? That dancing lady who brings them some snake venom for refreshments. Now, I've never really done too much work on any other type of organism outside of humans. Maybe if I find a dead snake one of these days, we'll have a little fun with that. Maybe there'll be a venomous type fellow, and who knows? Experimentation is a wonderful thing. Everyone seems to have their ideas on how to vanquish the world of all its woes. The captain will use law, Carl, voodoo, and the girl simply needs to cleanse the planet of a naturally occurring product of fermentation, and everything in their minds will be corrected. All the wrongs will then disappear, apparently. Captain Labiche is bent on clearing the island of their ancient practice of voodoo. It'll soon be him and his small French force versus the entire island armed with blow darts and zombies. Guess who will surrender first?
Don't touch it. It is Serta. Snake, the evil spirit. They're trying to throw a curse on you.
I shall put a stop to this. As of today, we start patrolling the whole area. Arrest anyone who looks suspicious. Get your men together. Ali, Ali! Don't just stand there. Where the hell is Wilhelm?
Nothing. Everyone stayed indoors.
If at least we could get just one of them. What is it?
The drums, Captain. The drums.
You've been out here among these savages too long.
The living dead.
We could be next.
Yes, sir. I'm afraid we could.
Good. It will be necessary to find an informer to disclose the identity of the leaders. Do you agree?
I agree, sir.
There is hope for you yet, Wilhelm.
Thank you, sir.
Mingo, I have a task for you. And if you do just as I say, there will be a handsome reward.
Sleep. Offer your dreams to Damballa. Sleep. Offer your dreams to Damballa. Offer your dreams to Damballa. Offer your dreams to Damballa. want you close to me. Your mouth like this.
The conflict between the natives and the French, like I alluded to before, I wonder who's going to surrender that first, but the conflict nonetheless is proceeding. A curfew is set island-wide, and right off the bat, the French are in trouble as a dead snake curse is put on the captain. A deputy is killed, and even Annabella ends up getting a visit from the little voodoo priest and his snake-dancing Lady Belle. Annabella wakes in a coffin and has this odd interlude with a clone of herself and a snake, but it turns out to only be a Damballa-induced dream. Looks like she will soon have to worry about more than who's drinking what. She's not the only one flipping out as the captain starts seeing the snake they used to curse him all over the place, and hallucinating and things of that nature. With the native voodoo chicks handling much of the recruited force the French have on the island, I'm wondering what the hallucinating captain's going to do next. What I'm going to do next is to visit a few more critical locations and confirm some findings. And then I'll be more or less done. Can close you up and send you off to your new habitat.
killed Cirque and Mingo, huh? Who is Dambala? Speak! Speak!
This is all over the island, you damn idiot.
They brought Mingo back last night in a basket.
You don't stop violence with violence.
I'm fed up with waiting.
Maybe they don't know anything.
They won't tell us who their leaders are because they're afraid. Well, when they begin to be afraid of me, more afraid of me, and they shall, I assure you, then the names will come. Hold on, Lieutenant. Have a drink.
Wilhelm! Wilhelm! Maria!
Scratch my back. Fan me. Smile. Say something to me. Imagine. Beautiful woman who can't talk. Every man's dream. Ah. You were beautiful when you were alive, weren't you? Even now, in a strange way. Tell me, my beautiful Maria, are you really dead, or are you? You don't feel dead.
You. Is this the mockery you make of our lifetime of work? To defile the daughter of a god with your brutal lust?
You shouldn't have done that, Carl.
Not enough that you turned the workers loose on the streets of the town, taking the lives of innocent people?
The police needed to be taught a lesson.
You taught them a lesson, all right. Labiche has gathered a larger force than ever before and armed them with pistols. Now they're going to scour the island at this time of all times when I hold you responsible for this Klingsor. I'm going to make sure that I can trust you. Galère.
No. No, don't. Please, don't.
Dambala's little world is falling apart. Herr Klingscher, I'm sure we can do business. As you say, we both want something. What I want is well known. What you want is clearly visible on your face. Therefore, let us proceed with our bargain. If your information leads to the success of my mission here, I can assure you that my influence in the colonial government will be sufficient to arrange some...
It is tonight.
Tonight? What is tonight?
The invocation of Baron Samedi. There will be a human sacrifice. If you do exactly as I tell you, you will be able to capture the voodoo leaders in an act of murder. Isn't that enough for you, Captain?
Very well. What is your plan?
Go on. I find all this very interesting.
Yes, isn't it? I never realized Uncle Carl was such a scientist.
Yes, fascinating.
For instance, here he tells about the snake bite and the drug that's used for its antidote.
Charming.
He believes that the combination of the two slows down the metabolism.
Metabolism, yes. Beautiful.
And the heartbeat, so much that the person appears to be dead. But he isn't. Well, the sun seems to be about gone. It's getting rather dark.
He isn't dead. Go on, I'm listening.
Well, Uncle Carl thinks that this technique can be used for surgery on the heart or brain.
On the heart. The heart's very important.
Yes, but there's a problem here.
Oh, no.
The drug keeps the body alive, but the brain is destroyed by the action of the venom. So the victim becomes a sort of walking vegetable. Oh, excuse me. Well, anyway,
You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Go on. Then what?
Well, he wants to find a way to avoid this effect.
What effect?
The effect...
Mademoiselle, the fire of the sunset in your eyes is consuming my heart.
Lieutenant, are you making advances toward me?
I love you, Annabelle.
Andrew, please. I told you. Lips that have touched alcohol shall never touch me.
Yes? What do you want?
Orders, Lieutenant, from Captain Labiche.
Well, you can tell Captain Labiche to...
Sir, the police have deserted. The captain wants you to come with me to headquarters.
I see. Wait a minute.
Andrew, will you come back soon?
Very soon, darling. Now, only death could keep me from you. Murder?
Even you, Wilhelm, cannot condone human sacrifice as part of any religious rite.
Of course not. I agree that it should be prevented.
Good. Then I have your loyalty.
But are you sure that this man Klingshore can be trusted?
I trust no one, of course. And our police force has deserted us en masse.
Does that surprise you?
It's neither here nor there. But now we are alone, Lieutenant.
Are you suggesting that we carry out this, raid by ourselves?
Precisely. Precisely. But we have an ally that's worth 50 men. High explosives. Bullets may not kill these zombies, or whatever they are. But I'm sure blowing them to bits will be most effective.
Traitor. Traitor.
I didn't say anything. I was just putting some things away.
You squealer.
Who are you? Who are you? Tell me your name. What?
glasses. My glasses. My glasses. My glasses. Who are you? Ah! Permessi va. Del pernutegit. Branza. Poi che tratti.
Mala.
hurt Annabella. I have a better solution.
Allah himself will offer his blood for Shirta.
All right. I only hope it works.
Salaud! Van Mulder, you are a charlatan, a fraud.
Nothing will stop the sacrifice, Captain.
Stop! You think that this miserable pig could be master of the legions of the dead? How foolish. His feeble mind is an open book to such a one as Calais. You came to witness a sacrifice, so you shall. And you shall witness the dawn of a new age upon the earth, the age of the Baron Samedi. Baron Samedi, your army awaits. Manifest yourself before us now. We are ready for your dominion on earth.
A fraud.
Ah, Baron Samedi, Baron Samedi, Baron Samedi.
Continue the sacrifice. I'm dying, Calais. Offer my blood and the blood of my niece, Annabella, to Baron Samedi. So that they can start a new empire on Earth. I'm dying. I'm dying.
You seem to be all done. certainly an entertaining process. Nothing out of the ordinary, however. I'm just gonna get you tightened up here and get you on your way. I hope you caught it. It was my favorite part of the movie. Maria, the zombie plaything of Carl's helper, ended up being dissolved by the voodoo snake dancing woman. Carl also whipped his body into shape, as he shouldn't have been using the zombies in the manner that he was. It's troubling to me that Annabella had her disturbing dream, and the captain also had the incident with the snake, but told no one. In this battle with the natives who specialize in head games, I'd think it'd be critical to have incidents like those shared in order to better understand what they're up against. Wilhelm is called back by the captain to raid a human sacrifice, and right after he leaves, Annabella is abducted. A cloaked guy with glasses, skull cane, and a hat is now going around killing many of the key parties in the conflict. And this same guy shows up at the climactic human sacrifice. And when the one that's supposed to be sacrificed turns out to be Annabella, the French military guys have to intervene. The captain gets a deadly snake bite, and falling into the fire, he explodes. The whole cave ends up buried in the mountain, as well as Uncle Carl, and Annabella and her Wilhelm seem to live happily ever after, or at least that's what's implied. Now, you're going to go happily ever after into the ground here soon, and hopefully you take some of the instructions and recommendations I've had from my experience with the people you're going to go spend quite a bit of time with now. And, you know, I'm always here, so I can hear you. You should be able to hear me out there. If there's anything that you need advice with, I'm really not going to interact too much, because things are better left to work themselves out there. But I will be here, so you can kind of keep that in mind as you ease into your long experience ahead of you.
Government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem.